Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ali Muhammed. Elhamdülillah mehdina ve selam teslima. Esselamu aleyküm ve rahmetullahi ve berekatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Father.
Good to have you here, Runa.
Thank you so much, Father.
So today we wanted to talk about and answer the question that has been posed. Why are some Jews opposed to the state of Israel? And why are they opposed to the war against the Palestinians and actually standing with them? And the answer to that is simple. The Jews are divided amongst themselves. You have one group of Jews that are accusing the other group of Jews of being non-believers. And it is basically the Jews that are opposed to the state of Israel. They oppose the state because they say that they believe in the supremacy of God. And they believe in the concept that only God appoints the ruler. And so they say that they are the true believers in the Old Testament, in the Hebrew Bible, and that God gave them a command that they be exiled, that they had to leave. He's the one who sent them out of the land of Israel, and that they are not allowed to go back into the land of Israel except under the Messiah, or with that man who is appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they're only allowed to return to the land when they have a leader who is appointed by God, which now they don't have. God has taken away from them the divinely appointed ruler or guide as a punishment for their atrocities that they had committed from the killings of the prophets and the messengers, whether the stoning of Zechariah or the beheading of John the Baptist, or, in the opinion of Christians and Muslims, also the most important reason was the crucifixion of the Messiah, or their attempted murder of their own Messiah. And so they believe that the other Jews are not real Jews. Why? Because they believe in democracy. And they say that for a Jew to elect their own ruler, to elect their own government, to decide from their own selves that it's time to enter into the promised land, is like throwing your hand at God and saying, I don't really care about what it is that you have decided for me. It doesn't make sense. And they say that this is proof that they don't believe. And so they're not real Jews. They're actually atheists. And they literally call them atheists that are hiding underneath the guise of being Jews. And so that, in short, is the answer. You have two types of Jews. One type of Jew that is, believes that they have a right to be in Israel today, and they are fighting in this war against the Palestinians. Another group of Jews that believe that those and are accusing those of being atheists and fake Jews, and they're saying that a true Jew only believes in the supremacy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and doesn't take from anybody except for the proof of God.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, since the Jews are proud to follow a lot of rules, very down to the details of their life, it's extremely strange that they would disagree on needing to have a leader before they build a state. Yeah, it makes total sense.
And they obviously they have many reasons and proofs for their belief, and one of the most important proofs to that kind of is there across all of the religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, is this story of Saul and his appointment. When the Israelites, basically Samuel was the ruler over them. He was their prophet that was sent to them. He was their guide, and he was the one who they had to be obedient to. And when they decided that they wanted a king like the rest of the nations, and they proposed that to Samuel, God was extremely offended and upset by the notion that they would even propose an alternative form of government than what he had decreed. But yet, because they went back to him, he appoints over them Saul as a king, but tells them that they're going to suffer and they're going to see why this is not a good idea. And so for the Jews in Israel, the Zionist government to disregard this story and disregard God's attitude towards all of those who try to propose alternative governments or follow people that were not appointed by God. This causes them to be classified as really non-believers in the Old Testament or the Hebrew Bible in the eyes of this core group of Jews that abide by all of the Hebrew Bible, especially by the commandment that God is going to be their king and their Lord and nobody else. So thank you, Runa, for joining me on this.
Thank you so much, Father, for having me.
God bless you.